I'm here with director Frank Mosley of Hold and star of the film, Robbie Story. Guys, great film. Very, very intense.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was it tough to make this film on an emotional level, seeing the circumstance in the film?
Me? Oh. Yeah. Is that an actor question? It takes, but you might be surprised in between scenes, not so much in between takes, but in between scenes we had a lot of fun. We kept it light. It was a great atmosphere, but once the camera was rolling, we were totally in it. We lived in it.
How did you prepare? How did you prepare for this role?
Well, I grew a beard, first of all. Actually, that was something Frank and I talked about, that I wanted to look older. He wanted me to look older. So that's not... The hair. Yeah, I had to part my hair. Never do that again. Frank gave me a list of objectives and questions to ask myself to make sure that my character stayed differentiated from my real identity, so I didn't start just dialing it in at any given point. Plus, he's on you. I mean, he's meticulous, he's right there, masterful, in control the whole time, so he doesn't let you get out of line. And if his favorite word on set was interesting, and when he said interesting after a take, we knew that meant do it again and do it better. So.
Now, Frank, did you already have the shots in mind when going into this production?
Well, as we were actually writing and conceptualizing, Robbie would work on the script, and so we were coming up with ideas for scenes. He would go off and write the dialogue, and then I would go home and make my shot sheet. And then so every time he'd have a new scene, then I'd look at it and say, well, I said, this is how I want to kind of shoot this scene, and how would it be best to do a transitional shot from this sequence here into the next one. And so the fact that we shot the movie in two pieces, actually two, we shot 50 minutes of the film first, and then we actually shot an additional 30 minutes later. That gave us some room to kind of tweak what we really wanted, like any other scenes of development with the characters that we thought would be important.
Question for both of you guys. What message do you think the audience will leave after seeing this film?
Go ahead.
That there aren't always easy answers, but that communication is key. And sometimes the fact that you can communicate that you can't communicate, and recognizing that and realizing that everybody loves in very different ways. And Alan Marsh, even though he may be oppressive at times, he means well. And so everybody tries to cope after a tragedy in a different way, and they try to love in their own way that they know how. And in the aftermath of a tragedy, it doesn't matter how you do that, it's going to be difficult, and the other person won't always understand.
Hope. I have beat that word to death, but I will keep doing it. I will keep saying it. It's about hope for me. It always has been, and I hope that's what they take away from it, among other things that he just said.
Now, will you two be working on another project together?
Absolutely. Robbie is hands down, the best collaborators you could ever ask for. I mean, anytime I have any kind of concept or idea, I'll pitch it to him because he's an amazing critic, an amazing writer. And so, I mean, I can't think of not working with him after this. This is just the beginning. So I can't even imagine all the other projects that we're going to do. And then on the same token, we each have our separate projects that we want to do on the side. But either way, there will always be some form of collaboration, whether it's small or big, with every project. So.
That's good. You covered it.
And finally, what advice do both of you have for up-and-coming filmmakers here in Dallas?
This is my favorite question. Go on, you give me your answer.
Keep writing, keep making films, keep acting, because just by sheer exercise alone, as long as it's like riding a bicycle. And you got to keep the axles greased, you got to keep the gears moving, and as long as you're constantly working at it, you can do no wrong because you're only going to get better and better and better. And as long as you never think that you're come to a place where you are at the very best, because that's not the case. You will always have room to grow. Laurence Olivier said on his dying day that he still had so much more to learn and that there was a lifetime of things he could learn about acting as he was dying in his bed. And I think that goes true for every art and every craft that one has. So just keep working no matter what.
Now I feel like I can't use my Laurence Olivier quote. No, start with the story. Make sure you're telling a good story. Make sure you're doing it for the right reasons because you're passionate about it. But yeah, seriously, a solid script is the foundation for your entire movie. We had a professor actually at UTA that said you can make a bad movie from a good script, but you cannot make a good movie from a bad script. So that's always where we start, is with story.
Robbie Story.
Come on.
Well, guys, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
I'm here with director of Sweet Science, Chris Howe. Chris, what do you think this film's going to do as far as send the message out about amateur boxing? There's a lot of amateur boxing here in Dallas. What do you think as far as the public eye?
I don't think amateur boxing really gets the attention that it should. People need to understand that not only is it a sport that is exciting to watch, but it helps a lot of guys out there. A lot of the individuals in amateur boxing, a lot of the young men and young women come from single-family homes, and it gives them structure, it gives them discipline, it gives them something to be proud about, some achievement. So it should be supported.
What did you see that people who follow boxing have not seen yet, especially with the amateur and the Olympic scene?
Our film, there's a lot in our film that people don't see. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes in professional and amateur boxing, as far as cutting weight, the amount of dedication. People don't know when you go to an amateur boxing tournament, it can be 7 days long. You might fight every day. The first day you fight a tricky southpaw. The second day you're going to fight a right-hander with power. Guys, in cutting weight, they're not allowed to shower. The body absorbs weight through the shower. There's a lot of things in our film for the details of amateur boxing.
Do you feel that your film will make a lot of boxing fans after they see it?
I hope so. What I hope it makes is fans for the boxers in our film, in particular, Charlie Hatley, Greg Hatley, and Coach Greg Hatley.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
Back to one.
We're with, shut up. Let him.
Ready? Charlie Van here with the cast and crew of Carried Away. Guys, tell me a little bit about this film.
I get carried away. I do, physically.
Yeah.
By him.
I have a nude scene, but it's not on camera.
I have a nude scene, it's on camera.
And this is my wretched older brother. He's the biggest jerk in the movie.
He is the biggest
Granny
jerk.
is the sweetest grandma ever, and when my family, my terrible tyrant family, locks her up in a nursing home, I'm not going to have it, So my character abducts her in this brilliant plan.
Dude, spoilers.
To carry,
Why don't you tell
carry
the whole
her back
thing?
to LA.
You got the screenplay in your pocket?
He gets shot in the face.
I survived.
Okay, we're
I come
leaving
back.
script
Barely.
now, just so you know.
And then we all turn into zombies at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I come back for the sequel,
Actually-
Carried Away 2, this
Do we have to
summer.
tell the
Steve
truth?
Franklin's back.
Are we supposed
And
to
this
tell the
time
truth?
it's personal.
No, it's a sweet. It's everybody compares it to Little Miss Sunshine or Ordinary People. It's got a lot of heart.
Yeah.
Ordinary Peoples?
Very funny.
Yeah.
Very funny. It's a funny film too.
Do you have a memorable moment making this film?
They're all memorable moments. There was so many
Oh, yeah.
edgy elements in the script. I mean, Julie, her character, Granny. I don't, fortunately or unfortunately, take her medication with her when I abduct her, and so the dementia kicks in. And at some point, there's this amazing scene where I don't even know how to say it. Should we?
Don't say it.
Don't say
Okay.
it. Spoilers.
It's something.
Just
it's,
go
it's
see
a,
the
It's
movie.
a very
It's,
inappropriate, realistic scene between a grandmother and a grandson that shouldn't happen, but it did happen, or did it in real
I
life?
don't know.
In real life, because the film is semi-autobiographical to our director.
Yeah.
So I'm actually playing a young
Him.
Tom Huckabee, and this is very much a story of his family. So
Yes.
Dysfunctional. They don't talk to each other. If you don't talk and
Typecasting.
communicate, you can't do anything. You can't
right.
solve anything.
How was it working with Tom?
Tom is a hoot. When Tom first brought me on the project, he asked me to actually write the script, and I said, Tom, this is your baby. I did do a second draft of the movie, and then Tom loved what I wrote, but he didn't give me any credit, so good for Tom. I'm happy they got the credit, though. He's a good director. I gave him some notes in directing. He's a wonderful guy, but I definitely think I deserve.
It's amazing.
no attention to him.
Tom is amazing. He's such an artist, and his vision, really carried us all. I mean, there were times where we all wondered, can that really work? But
Yes,
you just
honestly.
trust the artist behind
and
the
you have
scenes.
to.
You do.
You really
Tom's a
have to
wonderful
trust
guy.
Turned out
Your
phenomenal.
director.
I taught him everything I know. He's a good
He
guy.
kept telling me,
my Padawan.
meaner, meaner.
Finally, what would you like the fans of this film to know?
You know, it's for all ages. Anybody with a family can relate to this movie. Anybody can relate to it.
Yep.
It has
Absolutely.
more heart than any other film out there. Come see it.
It's
CarriedAwayTheMovie.com.
Universal. It's a Universal film.
That
I mean,
doesn't mean Universal has picked it up yet.
Not.
But hint. Okay.
It means it's universally accepted.
Yes.
Got it.
Can you cut this out?
Yeah.
This is gonna be in there, right? Thanks, guys.
think
I
it's
trust
great.
you. I trust you.
Thank you for your time.
Yeah, Richard
Thank you.
Collins.
Thank you, Richard Cause rocks.
Yeah.